We've done it once before. In order to begin the dash removal, move these two bolts right here with Phillips. Now, in order to remove this, there's a couple bolts you need to do. First one would be down here, and all across the top. Push and clip right here on the side. There's the plastic trim that goes right here. You need to remove that because one of the disconnection points that we have is actually on this B pillar right between these two doors. Before we get to that, let's get these seats out of the car. Major sockets you will need is a 10 mil, a 12 mil, and also a 9/16. Sharpie and this bag, zip bags, will be our best friend throughout this whole process. Because once we remove this, we'll need to remember where everything goes. We don't really want to have too many loose bolts. Let's begin by removing these 9/16 bolts out the way from both seats. There should be 2 in the front and 2 in the rear section. Due to the limited space I have, I'm not able to take the driver's seat out of the driver's side. I need to take it out of the passenger side. To do that, I need to remove the center console, and there's a couple bolts that we need to remove. Once you remove the bolts that are down here, you'll just need to pop off the piece that goes right here. It'll just pop up and slide off this. In order to get the last 2 bolts that are right here, you just need to pop off this piece as well right here. Once you get these 2 bolts off, you'll just be able to pop it out. During the process of removing the harness, you will get to eventually a couple of these clips that are for the airbags. Here's a quick demonstration. So in order to remove these, you will need to push down all the way on the yellow one, pull back on the green one as far back as possible. Once it's far there, you will let go of the left side, and then you would just slide it out like that. And there should be around 3 or 4 of these clips that you will have to deal with. There's one on the driver's side, one on the passenger side when remove the seats, and there's about 2 or 3 more inside the dash. You will need to do the same thing, removing some Phillips screws. There should be 1 there, 1 in the bottom, 1 there, and 1 in the bottom. And after that, you just need to pull with a little slight pressure, and it should pop up. There should be 2 Phillips under here. You'll just be able to unscrew them from the bottom, and then these 2 pieces should pop off. Now, unfortunately for us, this has already been broken by the previous owner. You'll be able to remove it, and from there you should be at this point. Right now, you should have at least 2 to 3 bags, depending on how sophisticated you want to make the bagging process. Now, I did one just for the center console, and I put sedan on there, and then I also have driver and passenger seat bolts. In order to remove these plastic pieces, you have to be very careful, as depending on how brittle your plastic may be, they may be able to break easily. When you do this, you want to make sure that you're not putting all the pressure on one side. If you're lifting here, make sure you try to lift a little bit from the bottom here so these 2 can pop up. And as you're slowly doing that, continuously move around until you're able to fully remove this. Alright, in order to remove this, you're just going to push out the cup holders. There's these 2 Phillips you have to remove. In order to remove this piece, there actually is no Phillips here. There's only a clip around this part right here. You should have a little more access to be able to move this around. Once you start pulling this in, you just want to be careful and slowly pry it out. This piece right here is actually missing some clips. On these portions and the end points, there's actually a little white clip that should be there that will click onto these. So we have 3 here to remove. There should be 3 here to remove. There should be 1 there, and 2 down here. This one is actually missing some because whoever took this off last time did not put this back. This is pretty simple. You pull this out right here, you'll push this down and slide it out. Those Phillips screws that you need to remove in order to get this piece out. There'll be 1 here at this point that connects there, 1 on this one, and there's going to be 1 extra one that will be located at the bottom right under there. But there's also 2 other 10 millimeters that you'll need to take off, one being right there and the next being right under there. You'll have to kind of just push this out a little bit from this back piece here, and you should be able to slide this out. But in order to actually get this removed, there will be a couple Phillips. After the Phillips, there's going to be these wires. This one will connect to this point right here. You just pop this up and just slide it out. Same thing as this one. This will be connected right here. Pop it up. You're just going to pop this out right here. You just slide it out. Should be pretty easy. Should not be difficult. If you're struggling with it, you might just be driving at the wrong angle. There's 1 more, and that one is on this driver's side, and this one is a little more difficult to get to. You kind of have to just get under, pop it out, and then slide it out again. In order to take off the speedometer cover here, there's going to be 2 Phillips right up, 1 there, 1 there. Another way you can also help remove this is you're going to have to lower the steering wheel. Just pull this down, should be able to lower it. So we have the speedometer cover and the speedometer itself taken out. In order to take the dash cover, there's 6 bolts we will need to remove. There's going to be 1 here, side as well over there. There's going to be 1 down here, 1 right here. And then there's also going to be 2 more that are going to be located, 1 in this corner and 1 in that corner. Now, in order to access those, we actually need to pull this rubber down here. You just simply pull this down, and you're going to apply pressure 2 points, one here, one here, and slowly pop this out. Once this is popped up, you should have access to lift this up a little bit. You will need to do it on the other side as well. All right, so we have the dash out now. The harness that you have to disconnect. There is 2 bolts where the harness is connected. Do not disconnect those, just adding extra work for yourself, and it's going to be very difficult. There's actually just 2 clips you have to remove, and it will slide up through this point right here. Those 2 clips are you're going to disconnect, which is right under the dash, is this brown one. Don't remove these white pieces. Those are safety mechanisms. You're going to find this little clipper here and push down on that middle piece. As for this one, depending on the angle, it may be a little difficult, but this one does have a little middle piece right there, and you're just going to hold down on that one and slide it out. This part is going to take some time to remove it. What's up, Patch? How you doing, buddy? But for the most part, I will show you guys how to take this bar off in case you are curious. You will need to remove the airbag kind of module right here. You would need to take off these ones. These ones are a special T with the little star and the little round thing in the middle. I have these 12mm bolts here. You have these 2mm 12 bolts right here. Don't remove these parts right here. Just remove these 2. You'll be able to slide the pole out this way. And on the other side, there's about 3 or 4 points. One there, and I believe there's 2 more right there. Take these off. You'll be able to just slide this off and pop it off. This is how you successfully remove the dash and have all this extra space in case you need to get back here. You'll be able to do this from anywhere from 2002 to 2007 Subarus. I believe Imprezas, WRX, and STIs. They all have similar dashes on your own. Now, it will take you, if it's your first time, anywhere from 2 to 3 hours, but don't be afraid to attempt this if you ever need to.